Welcome to Momatize Your Passion, a podcast for moms looking to turn their passions into online brands that serve others. I'm Tara Lon, a content strategist with over 10 years of experience creating viral content seen by millions. I'm here to help you grow your brand and reach the people God has called you to serve. Hello and welcome to the show. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about your business niche and how to actually find your niche, how to niche down, as you hear people saying. And I know some people say niche. I like to say niche, which is the French version. So I'm going to be talking about the steps that you need to take to actually narrow down your niche so you can get clear on what you're offering, clear on your target audience, and just be more strategic in your business. So for those who are not familiar with the niche, a niche is just a smaller segment of a larger audience. And I know I've talked about this before on the show, but at the beginning of 2024, I rebranded and I niched down. And as a result, my podcast went from a top 5% globally ranked podcast to a top 1.5% globally ranked podcast. And my audience size tripled. And that's because I got super clear on my niche and I started to be more strategic in my content and what I was offering. So I'll give you some examples of what niching down looks like. Let's say you are in the fitness market. The broader market is fitness, but maybe your niche could be postpartum fitness for new moms. So let's say you're in the health and wellness market. Again, the broader market, health and wellness, but a niche could be plant-based meal plans for busy professionals. So maybe you're in the beauty industry. Again, the broader market is beauty, but the niche could be something like clean beauty products for sensitive skin. So maybe you're in the parenting niche. The narrow niche could be parenting tips for parents with ADHD kids. So maybe you're in the crafting market. Maybe your niche could be DIY home decor for renters. So you see where I'm going with this. There's a broader market out there, which is capturing a large audience. But when you narrow down your niche and you get clear on your vision, then you can capture a smaller segment of that larger audience. And in essence, you're really capturing a large audience because you're focused on specific needs that they have. And then as you narrow down your niche, you will see that there's many benefits. And I'll just go over some of the benefits. So some of the benefits of narrowing down your niche is that you have a clearer target audience. So when you niche down, you're focusing on a specific audience that have unique needs. And these specific needs are needs that you had once upon a time, but you've mastered. And now you have the solution for your specific audience. And it helps you to better understand who you're actually serving. So when you're niching down and you're clear on your niche, you're gaining an audience that you actually want. It fits in line with your ideal customer. So you can kind of wean out the people that you're not trying to target, and you can actually capture the people you actually want to serve. It helps you to tailor something specific for your group. Another benefit of narrowing down your niche is that there's less competition. So if you choose to be narrowly focused on a smaller segment of a bigger market, then you actually have less competition because there's so many people who are in a big market. But if you are narrowing down your focus to something very specific, then you're actually competing against less people. And it allows you to position yourself as an expert in your field. So let's say sewing is your niche and you're narrowing it down to something specific within that industry. You will become the expert, the go-to person for that specific thing because you have this narrow focus that people come to you for. And when people are looking for something very specific, instead of them going to the broader market or the broader industry, they're going to come to you who has that specific solution for them. So there's less competition. Another benefit of narrowing down your niche is that you have stronger branding. So when you're trying to brand and you're trying to figure out maybe, yes, branding includes the colors and who you're trying to serve. If you are specific with your niche, then you know what platforms your unique audience member will show up on, you know what social media channels they like to hang out on, and then your branding will also encapsulate your target audience. So you're clear on what you're going to do for your branding, your artwork, your potential clients, and then your brand becomes more synonymous with that niche, and it makes it easier for potential clients to recognize and remember you. Another benefit of narrowing down your niche is that it's easier to market and sell. So if you have a well-defined niche, your marketing efforts become more focused and more strategic, and you know what your plan is. So if your niche is very specific, then you know how to create targeted campaigns and offer content that caters to your unique group. And then you can speak directly to their specific pain points, and it also brings more people to your platform because people are coming to you to get that specific need met, and you have something for them that is going to move the needle in their life. It's something that you've experienced yourself and you've gone through. So you have a solution from A to Z because you have been there where they are. So your marketing efforts are more effective and more efficient. Another benefit of narrowing down your niche is that it increases customer loyalty. So when you serve a specific niche, you can better cater to their unique needs. Your customers will come back to you. They'll refer people to you because they know people who have similar problems, and they can say, oh, well, this person offers this specific solution. You should go to them. Instead of going to a generalist, they're going to someone specific who's going to address their specific need. So it increases customer loyalty. Again, they'll come back to you, they'll refer people to you, and you become the expert leader in your field. Another benefit, which is very important, is that it increases your profit margins. So if you have a specialized service, then you can command higher profit margins. So you're providing a unique offer that caters to a specific group. So you can justify higher prices for your expertise because you are specializing in something that everyone's not specializing in. So you can charge a premium for that. And again, you have repeat customers coming back to you. Another benefit is that it improves your authority and expertise. So if you are laser focused on something, you can quickly become an expert or a thought leader in your area. And your audience will view you as knowledgeable and trustworthy, and it increases your credibility and your authority within that niche. And then lastly, and this is not all inclusive, there's many benefits. It gives you greater focus and clarity. So when you niche down, it provides you clarity so you know which direction you're headed, not only with your content, your marketing, but with your offers as well, because it allows you to cater to a specific group and cater to their needs very uniquely. So it gives you clarity on what you should be focusing on in the first place. So hopefully that gives you some guidelines for what your niche is and what it should be. So I'm going to also talk about some steps that you can take if you're still unsure on how you can find your niche or niche down. So one of the steps that you can take is to reflect on your passions. And you know that on this show, I am always talking about finding your God-led passions. That's actually a passion of mine, to help you moms find and discover your God-led passions, because when you do, it opens the door for you to serve others, and then you can make money in the process. So I would recommend that you start by reflecting on your passions. Even if you know what they are, think through them. Think through what activities or hobbies bring you joy. What do you love so much that even if you didn't get paid for it, you would still do it? And write down in a journal or a notebook all these things. Just have a list of all these things that you're passionate about, and it'll help you narrowly focus on how you can actually choose a niche that works well with your passion. Another thing that you can do to help you find your niche is to identify your strengths and your skills. So what are you uniquely gifted in? What are your talents? What do people say that you're great in? You could even think about some past jobs that you've had, or maybe you're in a current job. Think about some skill sets that you have that can help other people. So maybe you have good admin skills, maybe it's sales, maybe it's marketing. Think about all those unique gifts and skills that you have and see if that can resonate with your passions. See if there's a common theme. And again, take the journal or the notebook, write it down. We're just reflecting and thinking things through. And then, I always say pray about it and ask God if there's anything there. Ask Him to open up the doors. But reflect on your strengths and your skills and see how those strengths and skills could be used in your niche and used in a unique way. So another step that you can take in finding your unique niche is to understand your target audience. So as you're getting more clarity and you're quote unquote niching down, you begin to understand your target audience. Again, I would suggest that you write down who your ideal customer is. Are they in a certain demographic? Are they a certain age? Are they parents? Are they pet owners? Like, think specifically about your ideal target audience member, write it down, and see if there's any connection with your skill set, with your passions. And by you doing this, it'll help you to focus on your ideal customer and their needs. Another step that you can take in narrowing down your niche is to analyze the market. So I would recommend that you see who's offering something similar in your field. See what's working, see what's not working, see who your competitors are and how people are gravitating towards them. And then I would look for a gap in the market. So you have your unique skills, your unique passions. Look to see what people are not offering and how you can come in and offer something unique to a different segment of the market. So you can look for gaps in the market and add your unique twist to it. What's missing out there that you can bring to the table? So another step that I would take is to test your niche idea. So let's say you've chosen your niche and you can always refine it. Test it out. Create content where you can actually test this out. So if you have a blog, for example, maybe there's some short blog posts that you can create or post that addresses this need in the market. Or maybe on social media, let's say if you're on Instagram, for example, you can create a carousel post that is educational. Maybe it's the 5 ways to boost your sewing habits or 10 ways to clean during the summer. I don't know, whatever your area of expertise is, maybe you can create some sort of post or social media engagement story and just see what type of feedback you get. See if people are engaged, see if people are asking questions, and see if this is something that you can run with. And then lastly, and again, this is not all inclusive, there's many steps to finding your niche. These are just some top steps. Lastly, I would say to refine and adapt. You can always refine this process. Every year I set my goals and I look at what worked, what didn't work, how I can refine things, how I can niche down even more. It's okay if you change. It's okay if your passions wane or if they grow in other areas. That's part of business. And even the top influencers, they change and adapt and refine. So that is perfectly okay and normal. This doesn't have to be a daunting task. It's about using your passions and your skills for a specific need in the community, in your community, using your unique gifts, your unique God-led passions, and using that to serve other people and monetizing in the process. All right, so I hope this episode was a blessing to you. I hope you got some great insight. If you did, would you do me a favor and share this with another mom who could also use this? As you know, my podcast is meant to be a blessing to mothers, so any support from you would be so appreciated. Until next time.